secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls.
Let me just say real quick. Anytime a lawyer got hair like that, he's serious. He is after. If his hair look like that, he's serious. He tough.
Plastered.
We have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You'd be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. I mean, there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics. I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. And when I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times, it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of behavior wasn't so pervasive. But it is what it is, so we will press on. As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females who have as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. And I want to
oh, trafficking
of these victims.
Yep.
When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old.
It's over.
Jesus.
It's over for him.
Absolutely.
And you gotta wonder how many celebrities are about to fall behind this.
When he said we're out of Houston, I said, "Ooh, they in Dallas back door, Bishop Jakes."
I didn't even think about that.
They've been doing this for a while. For 120 people to feel comfortable to come forward and join to this law firm, they have been on his track for some years. Because it's not easy for one person to come forward. I've been a victim of SA, so I know it ain't easy.
No, I can only imagine. But now, but this just goes to show how serious he is. Besides his hair, he kind of reminds me of Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? You know how Nick Saban
It's the jawline.
He reminds me a lot of Nick Saban. How he knows what he's talking about. He has the facts, and it just seems to have ice in his veins. You know what I'm saying? Like, bring it on. You know what I'm saying? But watch this. He said they've had over 3,500 people to contact his law firm.
Jesus.
And now has 120 cases. They did some serious vetting and some serious digging.
Right.
These 120 are the ones that he got dirt on. They got facts on. He got receipts.
Video.
Pictures. Yep.
Have vetted the locations, dates, times.
And counting.
Yes.
It's no telling how many they're going to have.
I will say this. Just that statement alone, even if you're not a part of this class action suit, this lawyer sounds like the type of lawyer I would pay some money for, because he said, I know what it comes with, and this ain't my first rodeo.
This ain't my first rodeo.
Get big stuff, sir.
Yeah. I know
that. I need to talk. If you're going to go up in court on my behalf, I need you to step heavy.
Right. He said, I know what it come with. I know I'm going to get attacked. I expect it.
Yes.
Wow. This is mind blowing. And then the youngest, as young as 9 years old, that's sick. And then when you think about the Ushers and the Justin Biebers, and now he had to get out of the game, just to make sure he ain't going crazy about what's going on. Like, this is absolutely insane. It's kind of scary because you've heard about these different elite groups and everything like that for years, and it's been made to seem like, it's just a tale of the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? But now it's been made to believe that it's just a tale like the boogeyman.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that stuff ain't real. That's the boogeyman. You know, that stuff ain't real. But
And I mean, I'm sorry, I'm the resident church girl, so I always have to bring it back. The scriptures say that the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right.
That's why it's good to want to achieve things in life, but don't love money so much that you'll sell your soul to get it.
Amen to that.
Because all kind of evil is enacted in those rooms.
Yeah, all kind of evil, and people will do anything for money. Michael Jackson did a song about that too, and you know, he's one of the ones that ended up deleted.
It's
Prince.
I feel like too many people have allowed it to continue with silence. And I always say that secrets breed sickness. When you keep in those secrets, it's more and more sickness. It's a cancer. Whether it's in your family and you know your uncle's been doing stuff, or whether it's in the whole hip hop music genre. This is a sickness to our community. We're all feeling the brunt of this. And he also stated that he feel like this case is far beyond any other that he's ever tried. I feel like this case is going to be the largest in our generation. And I lived through the OJ case. I was here doing the Rodney King case. But I feel like this one is going to be the largest in my generation.
Oh yeah, this is and the people that are going to be exposed and outed with this, I can only imagine. And this is we could go on with this for another 8 hours. You know, we'll do another stream about it. You know, in the near future, but you know, just the amount of people who were forced, you know what I'm saying, and were I can't say the word, but and it's sick. It's sick. It's hard to think about, and for one man to do all of this just for his pleasure and amusement, like what kind of devil do you have to be?
All right, you ready for another one of my sermons?
Yes.
Low self-esteem people are the most dangerous people on the planet. Whether they are a danger to the society or whether they are a danger to themselves. They are those packages that come in the back of the UPS truck that has fragile on it or corrosive or have the bones and the skull and bones on it. That any type of, you have to keep them protected and shunned away from everything else, because you never know if a change of environment is going to trigger a reaction from them that could possibly be explosive. I feel that when people, first of all, are not allowed to live in their truth, the truth of who they are, of course, that's a low self-esteem.
Right.
When people don't know the godness that's in them and love that godness that's in them for just as it is, then I feel that's dangerous. That's dangerous to yourself and to others. And when you give someone of that caliber some money and power and they inherently get respect, it is dangerous.
Yeah. Absolutely. These are terrible times that we're living in. We about to, it's going to be interesting going into 2025 and the rest of 2024. Now, we're over an hour and a half, but there's one more thing that I kind of want to touch on.
I'm here for it.
We're not going to get into a lot of politics, but just this last week, my homegirl, Janet Jackson, did an interview with somebody and she got in a little bit of hot water. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know where I'm going with? Janet Jackson got in a little bit of hot water, and it was because this reporter was doing an interview with Janet Jackson, who's been in the entertainment industry all of her life. She's been in the spotlight. Her family has been in the entertainment industry for 50 plus years, 60, 70 years, right? And Tito Jackson just passed away. And Janet Jackson is getting ready to go on tour again or something, I think. And, this reporter asked her about Kamala Harris and how she felt about the first black woman possibly being elected as president. And Janet Jackson replied, "Well, I heard she wasn't black." Now, there's my humble opinion. From some of the things that I've learned, there's a connection with people of color that look like us all over the world, right? But recently, there's been I don't want to call it a movement,
It
but
is.
have you ever heard of FBA?
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag FBA of Foundationally Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And
Janet
the
Jackson,
ADOS.
yeah, ADOS, African descendants of slavery, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, to a lot of people, that's what it means to be black, African American, right? And Janet Jackson said, "Well, I heard she wasn't black." Okay. Got on a lot of hot water. D.L. Hughley came and started joking on Janet and started, just dogging her out. Some other people, Charlamagne the God, gave her Donkey of the Day for that. And my question is, do you think that we should vote for somebody just because they're black?
Let's go back to this Willie Lynch letter because it's in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's in here.
It's in here.
It's in here. It's in here. Janet, here it is, right here. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to dog Janet out because I do respect her. But I will say that was not respectable.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Janet's IQ was stronger in that moment. I needed her to understand that commentator, that journalist
was baiting her in.
And
he baited her in.
Exactly. And she
took the bait. Yeah.
She should have retorted, why does it matter? Why does her race matter? Is she qualified? That's what should matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now,
when we've had for doggone centuries, always had white men running against each other.
Mm-hmm.
When has it ever been a conversation? Well, I don't think he's white. It has never mattered before. Why now?
Well, do you think that Kamala kind of started some of this herself because she started running as saying she was a black lady or saying that she was African?
It doesn't matter. She is black. If that's what her culture is aligned with and how she identifies herself, then that's how she identifies herself. But her race, it should not be the most prevalent conversation. That's
I agree. I agree with you 100%.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I agree with you 100%. I just think that the only reason that it started to matter is because, let's just be honest. Democrats have depended on the black vote for a very, very, very long time. They depend on the black vote. Now she's also said, you know, that she was Indian or, you know, some whatever. The term slips my mind right now is what I'm trying to say. But I don't think that it matters. But I think that the only reason why it matters to people is because she brought it up first. You know
But
what I'm
I
saying?
would be proud, JD, when I went through the aircraft electrician program,
Mm-hmm.
I was the only female in the state.
I believe it.
That made me proud.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I'm black too, do you not know how
Mm-hmm.
proud I was in this
And
man's
you
world?
should be. You should be.
So yes, I would be
Mm-hmm.
proud to say I am the first. I'm the only. I don't know if I was the first, but I'm the only black female in this position in the state. Do you know that that's a pride in me
Mm-hmm.
that has to. It will bubble up. So I don't blame her for coming out saying, you know, I'm a black woman running for. Not only was I the first black woman that was elected to the vice presidency, but here I am running for. I'm proud of that. I want my kid, I want my family to be proud of that. Yes. But at the same time, that should not be the forefront of the conversation and moving forward. Let me have my moment of pride. And now let's get to it. Let's talk about the issues. Because that's what I came here for.
Now, do you think that and you know, I'm just asking because you know, I'm a little slow sometimes. So, you know, I'm just asking to get a little bit of insight. Do you think that when people are asking her about it now, do you think she kind of shies away from it um because so many people have given her pushback about not being black?
Now I'm gonna be honest with you and transparent. I haven't been following it as closely the past couple of weeks. I had a lot going on in family, so I haven't been
I
on top
understand. Me
of
too. Yeah, same. I haven't been on top of it.
like I didn't even know
Much
the
myself.
debate was tonight until
Yeah,
we got
me neither. You know, like I got my days mixed up, and you know, I'm trying to get myself back in the loop and see what all of the conversation and all of the hoopla is about. And it really started with this Janet Jackson thing, but you know, I noticed that some people after all of this, it was a divide. Some people were like, "No, Janet, she should be ashamed of herself. Why would she dog another black woman like that?" And then some people are like, "Black woman? What do you mean? She's not black. Her mother is Indian, and her father is half Irish and or whatever." Like I don't know. I don't know. So you know, some people are
keep
saying,
using those differences that divide us. Keep
well,
using the differences that divide us so we can
and we are divided. We are divided on it.
Yes.
People are
And guess what?
absolutely 100% divided on it.
And colonizers have always been divisive amongst us so that they can continue to conquer us. That's why I said yes.
Have you heard anything about Kamala Harris growing up in Canada? Is that true? Somebody said that. I heard that somewhere today.
Wait, she did because her dad, I think, is an engineer, and he was he either did some studies there or did some work in Canada for a while. Yes, but she spent most of her formative years in the United States, but there were some time in Canada spent. Yes.
Yeah, I heard, and you know, somebody please, you know, fact check me because you know I'm admitting that I'm not up to it. I don't know all of the facts, but somebody said, or I saw somebody comment on something earlier today, and I didn't have time to deal with it because I was on my lunch break or whatever. But somebody said that, you know, her mother was Indian and her father was half black. I mean, half Irish and half something, and was born in Jamaica. So that's what makes her not an FBA. Have you heard anything about that?
It does not matter. Is she American?
Yeah,
yes.
I don't
that
think it
should be the
matters either.
conversation. I'm
But
sorry. I'm
I'm
not
trying-
irritated at you, David.
No,
I'm irritated
I
by the
understand. I'm
ignorance
just
of the
asking because I
conversation.
don't know. I don't know. And it interest. I started to gain interest in this because of all of the stuff that people were saying about Janet Jackson. I'm like, Janet Jackson ain't never did nothing to nobody. You know what I'm
Janet
saying?
Jackson wasn't her smartest in that.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
I
I
did-
agree. I would have just said, I don't know. And
Yeah,
you know,
that ain't
I'm here to
nothing.
talk about
I'm
my
just minding
tour or
my
whatever.
business. Because Janet is gonna come back to haunt Janet. Janet's son ain't black then.
You said what now?
Her son ain't black. If we're gonna
I don't
start
think-
doing that,
Did she ever say that he was though?
but I'm saying if we're gonna start doing that, then that's what it's gonna lead to. It's gonna come back to bite you because sooner or later somebody gonna come out and say, "Well, your child ain't black, no way." Stop dividing each other.
Yeah, I don't think she ever said that. But
I'm saying what I'm getting to is that if we continue to, as a public people, have this public conversation about who black and who ain't black, it's gonna come back at her doorstep. Where your child is gonna try to do something in the culture and it's gonna be, well, he ain't black, and then they're gonna remind her that she told another black woman she wasn't black. So I don't like to get in conversations like that. I don't, because it does not matter. It's not.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't matter
to the conversation. It's not key to what should be the elevated conversation right now.
No, I agree. Who's the best candidate for the situation
right
that
now.
we're in? I think that's what the focus should be on as well.
But as long as we're doing this, back and forth, then we're handing over the real conversation to people who basically knew that they were playing you. Mental manipulation.
Mental manipulation. It's something that, people get the wool pulled over their eyes so easily, but it's just one of those things. Now, one more thing, and we're going to get ready to wrap this up. I watched an interview or a portion of an interview that Kamala Harris did with the National Association of Black Journalists or whatever. Did you watch that?
I didn't. I saw a couple of clips. And to be fair, I didn't watch the one with Trump either. I saw a couple of clips from him. I saw a couple of clips from her, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Now, I also heard and read somewhere that that she's lost some support from the Black community after that interview, and it to me, I'm not 100% sure that I understand why, but I will say this, that it was a couple of questions in particular that it seemed like she had a lot of trouble answering the question directly. And she got kind of upset with the lady for trying to keep her, on task to answer the questions. And, she was clearly flustered after that interview. And the nice young Black people that were giving her the interview, they seemed like they were flustered as well. Like you could see it, you could tell. She was upset. She was going to walk off the stage, but then she said, "Oh, let me go back and shake their hand." And then after they walked off stage, they were just kind of like.
Like I said, I didn't see the whole thing, but the clips that I saw were on Professor Karen Hunter's show, and hey, I didn't see the whole thing, so my opinion may be swayed by the opinion that Professor Hunter shared on her show. But Professor Hunter is a professor of journalism. And I liked her commentary because she said she did make a compare and contrast the Trump interview versus the Harris interview. And the clips that I did see of Trump on there, he came out, basically telling them people, Y'all were late. You talk about me bad. He was real rude to them, very ugly to them. So Dr. Hunter, she's not a doctor. Professor Hunter was making the distinction of what a real interview looks like versus somebody that just had no care for the journalistic process whatsoever. So that's what the takeaway that I walked away with, because like I said, I just saw clips. So I don't know, I have to go and look at it now. You got me interested to go and look at the whole thing to see what happened.
I would encourage you to go do that, because I think that part of the, people are going through it right now, and I think that part of the issue that people are having is like, okay, well, we want to know what you're going to do about this, but you're not really answering our question.
Mm-hmm.
You're not answering the questions and concerns that we have about the economy. We're not, we're pulling for you now. We behind you. We're supporting you 100%. But we need some answers too. And some of this stuff that you say could happen. You and Biden have already been in office, and none of this stuff is really working out for us. And I think that's some of the concerns that people have, is they feel like it's a lack of transparency. And then not to mention that we didn't really have much of a choice. You know what I'm saying? It was late in the game when Biden decided to step aside, which shout out to him, for finally, like you said, if we're trying to get somewhere, we got to be honest about where we are, right? And shout out to him for acknowledging that, hey, it's better for me to step aside, let somebody else take the reins. We didn't really have much of a choice, but we're getting behind there. We're supporting you, but you gotta just tell us what we need to know. And it's kind of like she got frustrated when they were trying to get her to answer the question, and a lot of people thought that wasn't fair.
Yeah, well, hey, it could happen, and I like I said, I didn't see the whole thing, so I don't know. But I will say this: as for me and my house, I'm not voting for nobody that tells the police they're gonna have complete immunity to shoot and kill anybody in my family.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
I'm not gonna do that.
That is absolutely terrible. But Alabama Church Girl, we're at 1 hour and 53 minutes and counting. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. I think it was a good show back. What do you think?
I definitely enjoyed being back over here with Mr. JD.
It was just like riding a bike, right?
Yes, right back on the wheel.
I didn't know how it was going to go, but I was willing to get back in here and see how it goes anyway. It's always good to have you. I look forward to doing this with you again soon. And yeah, we're gonna be all right. I don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen. All we can do is pray and trust that this thing gonna go the right way and
Amen.
go the way that we needed to go. And regardless of what happens, regardless of who's in the White House, I know who's in control. And God
Amen.
is always in control. So Alabama Church Girl, thank you so much for joining us. Y'all, I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are, what time zone you're in, y'all. It's always summertime in NY. Y'all take care, man. Peace.
It's too smooth. I honestly didn't really want to say anything on this, but that's what the people want. That's what I came here for. So we're gonna get into it. I like my coffee black, white too. Don't turn this into no controversy. It's my boo. I can make $250,000 off a haiku, and I can make another quarter off it times 2. If it's money on the table, I'll be on it like Bobby or Epic. You peep the aesthetic, it's hard to forget it. I hear you talking, but you're hardly right. I'm the voice of your prototype. Summertime in NY. Yeah. Summertime in NY. Drop top. Summertime and NY. That's right. Yeah. Bottles over here. Summertime and NY. Summertime and NY. I'm talking 6 a.m. tea times. 18 with the mayor talking land banks. I waited for it, gotta get mine. Snack a seat up at the table if my man came. Heading to a meeting, we're familiar with no briefcase. Just my mind in a free state. I got a plan through a vision, but it takes time. I'ma make mine. Summertime in NY. Yeah. Summertime in NY. Yeah. You know the drill by now. Summertime in NY. Get up, get together, get swag, go look at the gang together. Summertime in NY. Summertime in NY. Started in the back office, now I run the front. Public shots, make the deal, know the deal, know what's up. Too much for the books and I put it in the tuck. Too much for the tuck, then I give it to my love. Once I make $1 million, man, it won't be enough. Watch you fake the struggle while I get it off the hush. Now it's Jet Blue Miles, Rolex styles, frowns turn to smiles. Summertime in NY. Now we come to an end. Summertime in NY. And the falls upon us. I want you to bring that summertime and run that thing back. Yeah. Until next year. Summertime in NY. Summertime in NY.